In my opinion, as a traveler, I think that traveling is the best way to clear the mind. It's good for the soul and it just keeps you moving. Some people travel by flying, others take cars or boats or bicycles, but some people prefer to travel by foot. So allow me to introduce you to three incredible guys who are walking crazy distances, and we begin with a man from Michigan. This is Mike.
And I'm walking across America.
What inspired you to walk across the United States?
It was something that I put off for a long time. I wanted to do it for 5 years, and it really wasn't until after my dad died and then when my friend Naveed died that I knew my life is now. One day I'm gonna die too.
You might know Mike from his hit song.
You got designer shades just to hide your face, and you wear them around, you think you're cooler than me.
When I found out that Mike was walking across America from New Jersey to California, I reached out on Instagram and he was very open to me sharing his story. What would you say has been the best or most rewarding part so far about this walk?
The people I've met, you know? People walk with me pretty much every day.
Mike is walking across America because he wants to. He has no rules, no budgeting, no restrictions, just walking, playing random shows when he can, and the rest will just play itself out.
And I walk assisted, which means that each day Colin goes ahead of me in the RV, 5 to 10 miles. He'll meet me at increments. And then after the day's over, we'll drive the RV to someplace safe to sleep. We'll sleep there and then I come back to the exact same spot that I finished. People give me a lot of things along the way.
What message are you trying to spread to people who follow you on this walk?
Just that you don't have to play by the rules. You know, I'm supposed to record an album, tour the album, record another album, tour the album. And I just said, screw it, I'm gonna go walk across America. Lots of people try to tell me not to do it. It was a bad idea, it's not good for my career. But there's never a good time to do what you wanna do. You know, life is now.
What was it like to have so much fame and millions of dollars as a 23-year-old?
Yeah, it's the greatest gift in the world because basically all the things that I thought were gonna fill me up and make my experience of life better didn't. You know, I thought once I get the record deal, once I get the hit song, once I get the money, once I get the attention from the opposite sex, then I will feel better. But what I realized was I worked really hard, I attained all those things, and I felt 0% happier, 0% more secure, 0% more comfortable in my own skin.
Coming out to meet Mike today has been an incredible experience and one that I'll never forget. This is Naveed.
And I'm the only person who ever walked across Pakistan alone.
A native of Karachi but raised in New York, Naveed got a gig making stories for the BBC, but not the kind of stories about butterflies and rainbows.
Sort of like helping journalists cover hostile news coverage. So my job was to watch their backs while they did their job. A couple of years ago, there was this school massacre in Peshawar at the Army Public School. And my news team was the first news team allowed access into the auditorium. So, you know, without getting gory, there was a lot of bodies and blood and, you know, and still like smoke hadn't even cleared up from the attack. And I think it was at that point when I realized that I had seen enough death and destruction. And 2 months later, I packed up my bags, my dog, and we traveled up north to Hunza, rented a house, and that kind of changed my life. I saw an article on National Geographic about a guy walking across the earth. That kind of inspired me and planted a little bug in my brain until I decided one day that I'm going to walk across at least Pakistan, if not the world. I would like to at least walk across the country. So I started walking from the China border, which is at about 5,600 meters. I walked across the Karachi Highway, and then I continued walking through the Grand Trunk Road to the Sindh Highway, all the way to the Karachi port where you're coming from.
Where did he sleep?
Mosques, graveyards, police stations, side of the road, anywhere I could sleep, anywhere I could pitch a tent. I never had to worry about food, which I think you would agree. Pakistan, you will never go hungry.
Then the following year, Naveed walked from the Pakistan-Afghanistan border to the Wagah border of India.
In total, he has walked over 5,100 kilometers solo through Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India.
There were times when I just sat down and cried. There was a night I remember, it was like my second month into my first solo walk, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was writing like an email to my daughter, and I just started bawling. So that was the biggest challenge, was being alone for so long. Like humans, they need company.
Sure, man.
And we need distractions.
Now, Naveed runs an adventure travel company called Hunza on Foot, where he takes people on treks around the Hunza Valley and beyond. I just have a funny feeling that he's not going to stop living this lifestyle anytime soon.
Hi, my name's Tom, and for the past 5 years I've walked 18,000 miles across 38 different countries with my dog Savannah.
Tom is a 31-year-old American whose life mission is to walk on all 7 continents alongside his best friend, a 4-year-old dog named Savannah.
From New Jersey, I walked down to Panama City, that was 1 year, and then from Bogota, Colombia, down to Montevideo, Uruguay, that was another year. Took a boat to Antarctica, and then long flight up to Denmark down to Spain, across Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, up Italy, and then across Croatia, Greece, across Turkey, Georgia, Azerbaijan, and then got quarantined, locked down Azerbaijan, and now I'm just trying to find somewhere where I can walk in the meantime until I can continue my original route up to Mongolia, hopefully next summer.
How did you get started walking to every continent in the world with your dog?
My friend Anne-Marie died when I was 17, and it was very formative. I realized that I was gonna die and that I needed to do something with my life. I knew I wanted to see the world, and I wanted to see it in the most immersive, deepest way possible, and walking around the world seemed like the best solution to that.
How does Savannah hold up with all this?
Yeah, Sav's a beast. She's been walking on the road since she was a puppy. She used to ride in the back basket, and then after about a month she started walking, and she's been walking every mile with me ever since. With Savannah crossing borders, it's generally you just need a rabies vax, which she has. You need one every year, and then she'll need a health certificate. Very simple, you just get a health certificate right before you cross the border, piece of cake.
How much do you spend a day on average, and how do you manage your budget?
Budgeting is pretty simple. I don't spend a lot of money. I'm camping most of the time. So on the average day, especially in developing countries, I can live on a couple dollars a day. I'm not paying for rent. I get a local SIM card, and the rest is just food and water, and that's pretty much it.
Do you feel lonely when you walk?
I don't, no, not really. I don't really feel lonely. I think the thing is because I'm occupied all the time. I think a lot of the anxiety and depression is when you almost have too much time on your hands and too much energy, and you're not exerting the energy. And I'm walking all day. I'm getting water and I'm getting food. I have all these immediate things I need to satisfy. And then at the end of the day, I'm exhausted. And I lay in my tent and I'm like, I'm done. And then do it again the next day. So you just don't have time to be lonely or anxious or anything.
Tom is an incredibly motivated person, and it's amazing to see how far he and Savannah have come. It's unbelievable to think that neither of them have given up on this journey yet. I wish him all the best, and I can't wait to follow his adventure all the way to the finish line in Australia. So as you've heard from these 3 stories, walking can help simplify your perspective on life and allow you to appreciate the smaller things in a world that can feel overwhelming. Remember that your life is now, so make sure to live it today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means the world to me. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below so you can stay updated on all my travel videos as I go to every country in the world. And also ring that little bell icon so you can get a notification when I post a new video. Lastly, if you're on Instagram, hit me up at Drew Binsky. I share a lot of behind the scenes live content on Instagram stories for my trips. With that all being said, have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.